Handsome.
If you're into psychopaths.
Nobody's perfect. Where's base camp?
Top floor, balcony.
All right. Let's do this.
Yep, Uncharted is back in the form of The Lost Legacy. Nathan Drake is out, Chloe and Nadine are in. But can it hold a burning wooden torch to its predecessors? I'm James, and here to answer that question is one of our new team members, Sam Loveridge.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Sam. Let's start with the stars of the game. What is going on with Chloe and Nadine?
Well, you might remember Chloe Fraser from Uncharted 2. She was one of Nathan Drake's many conquests, flames, whatever you want to say. But she went to the dark side, stabbed them in the back, then came back. It's been a very complicated backstory. Now she's on a new quest to find the Tusk of Ganesh, and she's got a new friend, Nadine Ross, who you might also remember from Uncharted 4, but she was one of the villains, and she's had quite the change of heart and has come over to the good side, or as good as you can be, being a thief, basically.
Yeah, so like in terms of the Uncharted universe, how far after 4 is this set?
I think it's a few months after 4, so, you know, you've still got the aftermath of what happened at the end of 4, in terms of Nadine's connection to that and Shoreline and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know how it's happened, but Nadine...
Very quickly become friends.
Yeah, they're friends and they're going to find this lost artefact together.
So would you say, like, for people who maybe haven't played the Uncharted games before, I don't know who that is, but if they haven't...
Weirdos.
Like, will they understand what's going on? Do you have to have played the other games?
I mean, there's a few references in terms of both characters' backstory. Like, there's quite a big scene with Nadine and Shoreline, and you might not understand that, but it is supposed to be a standalone story, so you might miss some of the references, but you're not going to be at a disadvantage if you haven't played every single Uncharted game ever.
Okay, great. So there's been a lot of discussion around length. How long would you say this game is in total, start to finish?
Well, I think you've got to bear in mind that this originally was a piece of story DLC, and it's not full priced. It's, you know, £30 in the PSN store. But it is around 10 hours if you do absolutely everything. It took me about 8 to get through the story with, you know, a bit of collectible faffing.
Mm-hmm. And there are additional puzzles and things you might miss on that path.
Or if you do absolutely everything, explore every area and get all the photo opportunities and coins and God knows what else that you can find. I mean, you're going to average around 10 hours, but there isn't much beyond that sort of thing.
Okay. And in terms of gameplay, like, this is very much Uncharted, so like in a good way, but is it everything that we'd expect from an Uncharted game, basically?
Yes, it's all the grapple hook swinging, punching people from behind walls, stealth grass, everything that you know and love about Uncharted is back, but with a new protagonist, basically. I mean, if you're hoping for something a little bit more revolutionary, or, you know, even a bit more nuanced, because, you know, Uncharted is quite brash and breezy. You're not going to get that. But if you love Uncharted, then you're not going to be disappointed.
And the way it works is very much similar to 4 in terms of, like, its exploration with hub worlds and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was quite disappointed by sort of the open world promise of Uncharted 4, but actually finding it's quite linear when you've got a little jeep in Madagascar. The Lost Legacy is actually much better at that. It gives you a kind of hub world a la sort of Rise of the Tomb Raider, say, where you've got sort of areas to explore within a hub world, but it's not going to be an open world in terms of, you know, The Witcher or something like that. But there is much more freedom and, you know, a chance to explore than there was in Uncharted 4.
And there were secrets and things hidden around those hub worlds that you might not discover if you just go on the main path.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. I missed a whole temple the first time round, so explore every nook and cranny that you can, basically, and there's some nice little, you know, hidden areas that you can find if you're patient.
Now, obviously, Uncharted has built its reputation on set pieces and them looking amazing. Is the Lost Legacy full of them?
Absolutely, and I think almost to its detriment. For me, it felt like they had taken all the best bits of Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 in particular, from, you know, helicopter fights to car chases to even just strolling through marketplaces, and rehashed them for the Lost Legacy in a way. Whether that's a good or a bad thing is probably up to the individual person to debate. And on the one hand, it feels like great fan service because you're like, well, why wouldn't you take all these amazing moments and make them into one game? But on the other hand, it feels like, oh, maybe this is the sort of issue with it being changed from a DLC pack to a standalone game. But it looks great.
So putting that familiarity aside, is it still worth picking up, like just for the graphics and the story and all of the things we've come to love?
Absolutely, and I think this is probably one of Uncharted's best stories. You know, with these new characters, Naughty Dog seems to have upped their game in terms of character development and the way that they convey emotions. And you know, for me as a female gamer, it's so refreshing having not one but two heroines, and the way they interact is sort of exploring all those the colours of a personality. You know, it's not just Uncharted's normal sort of bravado and sass. I mean, there is that, which is great, and there are some great sort of quippy lines and stuff like that you'd expect and hope for with these games. But there's depth and there's emotion, and there's times where you actually feel very vulnerable, even playing as Chloe. And that, for me, is so important, because you want a heroine who feels like a human being, and that's exactly what they've done with this game. And it's so amazing. Like if you want the Naughty Dog story that, you know, storylines that everyone loves, then this is one of the best.
Awesome. Well, it sounds pretty good. So if we're going to sum it all up for people, is this coming on your recommended list?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you want a really great gaming story with characters that you can actually believe in, you can't do much better than The Lost Legacy for this year so far. And, you know, if you don't like Uncharted, don't bother. This is very much an Uncharted game, but it's brilliant. It's a brilliant one.
Okay, well, let's put a score on it. What are you giving Uncharted: The Lost Legacy?
I'm going to give it a GamesRadar 4 out of 5.
Okay, Sam, well, thanks for talking us through The Lost Legacy. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Click the boxes on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to hit that big button in the middle to subscribe for more gaming news, reviews, previews, and features right here on GamesRadar Plus.
The greatest treasure. The tusk of Ganesh. Now that's not an easy find.